$200. Who wants $200? $200. You can make $200 a day. How do you want to make $200 a way? Well, I have 8 suggestions for 2023. I think these are the best suggestions. But yeah, please, you leave some comments. Let me know if you think my suggestions stink. So here we go. Number 1, dog walker. So do you like dogs? I was gonna say cats, but people don't really hire cats, cat walkers. So do you like dogs? I know when we lived in New York City, you would routinely see people walking about 8, 9 dogs a day. 8, 9 dogs at a time. And they would do this multiple times a day. Now, back in 1999, when I graduated business school and moved to New York City and got my dog Opu, was the laziest black lab ever. I hired a dog walker. So you have to think this is 23 years ago, almost 24 years ago, and he charged me $10 for a walk, for one walk, a 30-minute walk in New York City. Funny story is, we got fired after about a week because apparently Opu lived up to his name, which means big belly in Hawaiian, refused to walk. He just wanted to lay on the sidewalk, especially on the corner where we live. There was a fruit stand and the hot dog guy. And yeah, Opu wanted nothing to do with it. But, you can always hire a dog walker. I think if you live in the suburbs and even more rural, it might be a hard job to get or a hard job to make necessarily $200 a day to get all those dogs. But it's possible. I think at this point it might be like $25 a walk because it's, 24 years later since I started. Okay. Opportunity number 2, sports coach. So do you like playing sports? Do you like kids? Do you know anything about sports? Now, I don't think you have to be the best at a sport in your past to be a good coach. My best coaches weren't necessarily top athletes. My favorite coach, well, she played on the pro tour for a little bit and then she hurt herself. But really what made her great, this is in the days before videos, she had a binder and she had pictures and she would show me other athletes doing what she wanted me to do. These days you have YouTube. You want to teach a forehand to a tennis player and you don't know what grip to use, how to construct the stroke because you only played high school tennis, you weren't really into it, but you love kids and you love the sport. You get out there and you learn how to do it via YouTube and then you go coach it. I think the most important things if you're going to be a sports coach is loving kids and loving the sport. If you love something, it shows, and then you're a better teacher. And obviously, when you're working with kids in general, you need to have a lot of patience. But the kids are out there too. I mean, and you take a kid running around and then get the endorphins going, they're going to be pretty happy as well. Okay, opportunity number 3 is virtual assistant. Now, I covered that in my last video. But that's something there's so many entrepreneurs now. Like sole proprietorship is like the number one way that businesses are formed, which means it's one person, right? You can't have a sole proprietorship if it's not one person. But just like me with this YouTube channel, so far it's me. I pay my kids to work with me, but majority of the time they don't want to. I think I'm a good boss though, but yeah, they don't want to. Apparently TikTok-y and video games are more exciting than this. But so at some point, if I actually get more than 2 subscribers and more than 100 followers, I might grow to the point where I would like a virtual assistant. And if you are a very diligent and responsive virtual assistant, you can actually work with multiple people. So virtual assistant, like for me, I'm going to combine it with being a freelance writer blogger, which is my number 7. We'll discuss that one later, but it would be answering a phone, responding to comments on YouTube, customers call and want action, or even sometimes it's just, can you outline what are the most important things I do today? So, be my assistant. And you can, do that easily for $200 a day if you have a couple clients. So that's that. My number 4 is tutor. So you can tutor, the gamut. We had tutors for our 4-year-old who had a learning challenge. I actually was a tutor for GMATs and then statistics in business school. And my husband and I, when we first got married, wanted to learn French. So we had a French tutor. So back in, the mid 2000s, we had to pay $150 for our French tutor. She told other families $175 to $200 an hour, again, like 15 years ago. Currently, we pay about $100 an hour out here in the suburbs. So yeah, you work 2 hours a day and you'll be able to make your $200 tutoring. And again, you can turn that into, huge full-time opportunity if you want to, or use that as your side hustle. The next opportunity is working with Amazon merch, Amazon merchandising. The big catch with that is that you do have to have some money to buy inventory in the beginning, but you get to pick, kind of what merchandise you want to help them do the fulfill. So you go to Amazon merch, you create an account, you upload some designs, and then you handle the merchandising aspect and the fulfillment aspect of it. I think it's kind of really an awesome opportunity, especially if you are creative and you want to actually create a product to sell online. Opportunity 6 is social media manager. So I guess when I was using the virtual assistant as an example, I'm kind of combining them all, right? Because again, hypothetically, if this channel ever grew, I'm combining needing a virtual assistant to a social media manager to a blogger. But social media manager is a little bit different. So, right now nobody would ever hire me as one. I don't have the followers or the views to actually give credence to the fact that I know how to set up a successful YouTube channel. Maybe down the road I would want to hire a social media manager to help grow my channel and its visibility. But at this point I kind of want to do everything like low cost because this is more of just something that's fun for me. My daughter's injured. She can't play tennis. I have all this time on my hands. And I said, okay, I want to do something productive and I want to do something where I can teach people information that I know and have and can share. But anyway, to get back to social media manager. So if you have a Facebook page or Instagram account that has a lot of followers, like, hey, look, Laura, I have all these followers. Your content doesn't suck and you're a little bit personable. I can help you grow your audience if you actually want to hire me. So that you could do it, part-time, because I specifically this is not my full-time job by any stretch of the imagination. So I would love for you to work part-time with me and help me build out my platform. Okay. So the number 7 on mine is a freelance writer blogger. So, I'm going to use myself as an example. Producing these videos is somewhat easy. However, there's a whole lot of background that goes into it. So I actually research the topics and write a blog first. That's how I get all my information. I actually have pads of paper behind the camera that have all my notes on it. But I write up the blog and I publish that, and then I make the video. However, if I could have someone, hey, I've got this great topic, let's look into, the top 20 jobs for, new graduates or for teenagers or what have you, whatever the next topic is that I want. If I could hand that off to somebody to research and write the blog, and then I can just take notes off of this material that's already, and make the video, that would be great for me. Right now, I do enjoy writing the research. It makes it easier to make the video when you actually did all the research and all the thinking that went behind it. Okay, the last opportunity I did not put on there. I've been going back and forth, kind of questioning whether I wanted to put it on there. But it is to host an Airbnb, or I don't know how to say that properly, but to rent a room via Airbnb. Airbnb statistics show that to rent one room for one day, you'll earn $100. So if you can rent your room or an extra room for 2 days in a month, you're going to make $200, and it's not going to be that much off-putting to you. You don't have a permanent roommate. It's somebody that you can be there for a day or two. What I'll say, this is one of these things, kind of like a dog walker or sports coach or tutor, that it might depend on where you live in the country. Are you in a city? Are you rural? Are you in a desirable? Are you not? But I will say, if you take, any town in the United States, they have high school graduations. And there might be instances during high school graduations or wedding seasons or Thanksgiving or Christmas when people are short a room. They might coincide for when you don't have an extra room, but let's just say that they do coincide when you have an extra room. You could probably rent out your room for 3 or 4 days during these peak seasons. And so on average, you could be making $200 a month on that opportunity. So anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. Each of these opportunities I've mentioned, you could easily make $200 a day. A lot of them you could be making multiples of that. You could be making multiples of that in a day, depending on what, effort you want to put into it. So thanks again for watching my video. I wish you the best. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.